Cannington is back and we've got the big final of the Puppy Classic this weekend. Hello and welcome to the Wednesday preview. My name is James Broadhurst. I'm joined by David Shortte. How are you, Shortte? And we are matching today. You're looking good, mate. Love that.
Twinning it.
Yeah, fantastic. Going well, mate?
I'm going beautifully, thank you, JB. Lovely to be with you to talk some Greyhound racing, find a couple of winners and have a look at some of the feature racing this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, hey, look, there is plenty going on in Greyhound racing, as there always is, but this week specifically Shorty. And the big news that we're going to kick off with here is that racing is back at Cannington this Saturday night, Shorty, with the long-awaited return to headquarters here. We had some dogs go around the track last night, 16 dogs to test the surface, all okay. We've got official trials Thursday night ahead of this big race meeting Saturday night, and good to be back, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely, JB. And of course, with the Perth Cup and Galaxy just around the corner, really important to have the main circuit back up and firing. The key, though, of course, is number one, safety for the canines.
Of course, indeed. And so, track signed off, back to racing Saturday night. As we are recording, the fields have not been released as yet, but I'm sure there will be some very nice dogs going around ahead of the Perth Cup. Plus, Shorty, we've already got the first of our interstate visitors arriving, and a few of them will be going around on Saturday night, aren't you? Got some information on some of those dogs?
Yeah, just some news. So Kenya Mayhem will be coming across for Jess Hopkins.
That is a big name.
It is, yeah. Really, really talented sprinter. Be an absolute draw card. So looking forward to seeing Kenya Mayhem. Amron Toy, of course, for Brett Bravo, and one of the stays, Jay Keeping, for the Galaxy, aiming up towards the Galaxy. So great to have some interstate representation heading towards the Perth Cup and Galaxy.
Yeah, just going around to have a look at the track. I'm sure there will be more over the next week or so, and looking forward to those heats next Saturday night, 7th of March. Shorty, another big thing that happened over the weekend, we had the Greyhound of the Year ceremony. What a night that was. Well, I assume I wasn't there, but you were.
Yes.
And the big winner was Miss Envy,
yes.
Dual Greyhound of the Year. What a performance this dog's been able to put in. I don't think she's finished just yet. By the way,
she could create history by becoming the first canine to win 3 consecutive WA Greyhound of the Year titles. She's still racing particularly well. Steve Shinners spoke on the night and suggested that she'll be aiming up at the Rookie Rebel over in Victoria, and then post that we'll be heading back home for a tilt at the Perth Cup. So really exciting news for everyone concerned. Also had a chat to Chris Hulse in regards to Weston City. Same story with Weston Sydney. So it'll aim up at the Rookie Rebel and then be heading home for a tilt at the Perth Cup. So 2 of our absolute top liners to look forward to in the next couple of weeks.
All right, yeah, Miss Envy, Dual Greyhound of the Year winner. Some of the other winners, Shorty, David Hobby, State's leading trainer. Jesse Earnshaw took out the Youth Achievement Award. John O'Sullivan and Ros O'Shea presented with the Welfare Award. Jimmy Chadwick and the mighty Sand Pebble both inducted into the WA Racing Hall of Fame. James Broadhurst didn't win a media award again.
Yeah, bit of a setback,
but what would have had to have been the highlight of the night, Shorty, you honoured for your lifetime of involvement and promotion and just interest in this sport, the Jerry O'Keefe winner. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Thank you, JB. Yeah, it was a huge surprise on the night, and also just a huge honour. Obviously, some absolute legends of our sport have won this award, so to join them is really humbling, and something that I'm really honoured to have had bestowed upon me. So it was a fun night, and huge thanks. But like I said on the night too, a lot of what I've done over that period of time, JB, is actually speak to the people, and if they don't pick the phones up and buy into what we're doing to try and promote the sport, then it doesn't work. So sort of said on the night, just a huge thanks to all of our industry that have joined us on all the different radio programs and podcasts and the like over the last 3 decades. Without them coming on.
3 decades?
Yeah.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
You're not joking. You see all the white ones there, great JB? That's probably...
I was going to say, you're still relatively youthful, mate. How does it feel that you've actually peaked in your early 50s, mate.
Well, let's hope that I haven't.
I was going to say, what's
what's
the next 30 years got?
Oh my goodness, great question. Gee whiz, wouldn't you like to have a crystal ball that could give you a rough idea? We'd be wealthy people if I could tell you what was going to happen in 30 years' time. But I've got enough challenges trying to work out what's going to happen on Thursday night finding a winner, let alone 30 years from now, JB. But thank you for those kind words and for everybody on the night. There was a lot of lovely messages and comments, so very much appreciate those.
There we go. Well done to you, mate, and of course well done to all the award winners there at the Greyhound of the Year. Now, let's get down some racing, huh? Why not? We've got this big final. What a ripper of a race this is. The final of the Puppy Classic at Mandurah on Friday night. Why don't we start with this dog, Shorty? We kind of have to, don't we? Hurry Up Eric. What an exciting prospect he is. And of course comes into this final as the fastest qualifier after he did this in his heat.
Racing. Hurry Up Eric began cleanly, is zooming through to lead Yonder Up Pockets, Billy Me Goat, Sunset Caligula, and then Rip and Ruby. West on Menace is a mile back with Hard to Forget and Hunter. Hurry Up Eric sailed away. The son of Vanderwarp, 6 clear of Yonder Up Pockets. The sisters in second, and then Sunset Caligula, Rip and Ruby. But it's all Hurry Up Eric. He's going to bolt in. Hurry Up Eric by 6.
And as we have a look at the field, as mentioned, it is an absolute a beauty. Hurry Up Eric out of box 3 here has now won 5 of his 6 career starts, including the run of 27.42 last week. What an absolute star he looks to be. From box 3, I guess the question is he going to be able to get around Just a Foreman in box 2? Just a Foreman, of course, back-to-back wins over the 488 now. Very good win from box 8 in his heat. I think will show just enough pace to maybe challenge for the lead here on those inside draws. Got that other impressive heat winner, the litter mate for Just a Foreman, Just a Piastri.
Yes.
We've already seen what an impressive dog this can be. Claimed the Young Stars Classic in November. He's won 3 of his past 4. Looks poised to cash in on his potential, but box 6 possibly a little bit tricky for him here, and he's got Yonder Up Pockets, which does tend to shift out a bit. That might add a degree of difficulty to his chances here, Shorty. And then we've also got the other heat winner, Sunset Clarice.
Yes.
In this, stepped up from that maiden into this series last week, looked very comfortable. It's another quantum leap again, isn't it, into this final? But if she does get some room to work, could be a fly in the ointment here, maybe.
Yeah, potentially. Look, it's a good quality field with some really good depth, and the Halson Britain Kennel head in with a really strong hand here. Obviously, Hurry Up Eric, we've touched on, Just a Foreman in 2 and Just a Piastri in 6. These 3 dogs, when you look at what they've done in town as well, as far as what they've done on the clock, are very fast dogs. If they can get clear running, they are all likely to be the key prospects. And so on the race, I've gone 3-6-2 as the 3 key prospects. 3 Hurry Up Eric, really nice last week. What I loved about that replay we just watched, JB, was how the dog really just bustled hard to get its spot, and once it got there it just ran away from them. But you do need to have a bit of intestinal fortitude to be able to ride some bumps and push hard to get to the spot you want up on top of the speed, and thought Hurry Up Eric did that in fine fashion there last week. Just a Foreman moves from 8 to 2, and that's a really nice box move for this canine, much more comfortable drawn down near the inside. Last week, those scratchings did help the dog. So if you're drawn outside, and we'd mentioned, I think last week it was 1 of 12 from outside draws that it had won. The flip side to that is when it draws 1 to 4, this dog has a really hot strike rate and now comes up with a much more favourable box in the checks. And number 6, Just a Piastri, the draw, as you touched on, could be a little sticky here, but this dog is absolute top rate. It's run some incredibly quick times, but it's just a matter of where it gets to from box number 6. It's really going to have to nail the start to get across into a nice spot in the early stages. If it does, it could very easily be the dog they have to beat. They do look the key prospects. It does not end though there. There's plenty of other canines that can hit the frame. As you touched on, Sunset Clarice was good. Twin Finn is a dog that just consistently hits the frame for Corey White. If you're playing trifectas and first fours, you must include this greyhound because it just hasn't missed on the way through. But for me, 3 on top, Hurry Eric from 6 in Just a Piastri and 2 Just a Foreman. 3-6-2. I'm tipping a big night for the Britain House combination in the feature race.
Yeah, Can't go past Harry Eric myself as well, but of course does depend on what happens early doors here and who does get that early advantage here. Question without notice, Shorty, I know you love these, but of those top 3 you've picked, they all look super talented, all look like they have very bright futures. Who's the pick of them? Which one would you want if you said, okay, you can take one of these dogs right now?
Right now, I would probably go with Just a Piastri. I think long term, the dog's got a very bright future. But I'd be happy if it was like a schoolyard setup and I was third to get the pick. I'd be happy with whoever was left out of the 3, to be honest. I think you'd be delighted to own any of the 3. They all look to have really bright futures. And in the history of this sport, the Puppy Classic has produced an absolute
bellwether race,
big style. Yeah, it's produced absolute stars of our sport. So this is a race we'll watch really closely. The form out of it is always strong. And good luck to everyone with a runner there on Friday night. Should be an absolute ripper race. And I'll stick with Just a Piastri, but like I said, no disrespect to the other 2. I'd be happy to take home any runner in this race, in fairness.
Yeah. Expect to see a lot of them in the Perth Cup Series in the following weeks. Speaking of Shorty, Perth Cup, it is just around the corner, 14th of March. What a night it's going to be. Of course, Perth Cup final, Galaxy final, plenty of free kids activities. We've got rides, face painting, DJ on course. That's going to be a fantastic night to get involved with. We've got the heats on the 7th, of course. Great racing ahead of us, isn't there?
There is. I saw last year you went with a Batman with the face painting, JB. Have you got a pick for this year that you might be rolling out? Maybe switch up to Aquaman or Superman, something like that?
No, I've got Ultimate Warrior, mate.
I like it. I do like it. Charge. He'll be rolling in.
You might see me on the outside fence there, just
looking for a turnbuckle to get up high and start leaping. Very good, good. But the kids can come along and
they'll have to wait for me, mate.
Yeah, wait in line behind JB. That could take a little bit.
And for the rides as well. Don't worry, I'll be on that bouncy castle. That's all ahead of us. Perth Cup, what a fantastic race that is each and every year, and this year no exception. Good that we're having it at Cannington. Shorty, no racing tonight, but we are racing down at Mandurah tomorrow night. First of 12 races kicking off at 5:46 p.m. Free entry, as it is each and every night here at Greyhounds WA. You were on song last week. Can you do it again for us with your best bet?
I think so, JB. Heading to race 7, number 1, My Paddy Boy. Louis Clay, really good trainer. It was really good to see too last week. Lewis back in the winners list with Max Capacity, who was speaking to the Galaxy. All being well, the dog will be there in the series, which is great to see. But My Paddy Boy can give him a little bit of spending money prior to that. This greyhound was uber impressive last week. It was backed off the map, and in the end, absolutely jogged in. Like the way that it was really strong early in the race to find its spot. We talked about it earlier with Hurry Up Eric. The good dogs, the ones you would like to be with more often than not, are the greyhounds that take a gap and really make their presence known early on in a race, and that's something that My Paddy Boy looks to have here. Moves to the cherry, which is very much advantageous. Thought it would take a power beating. Race 7, number 1, My Paddy Boy.
All right, well, my best bet comes a couple of races earlier, Shorty. Race 5, number 1, Junkyard Jeff. The dog's been racing pretty well of late, of course, including that PB run had at the start of the month. Better prospect, though, when he's got an inside draw and he gets the pole on Thursday night. So, big chance, I reckon, down there on Mandurah Thursday. Race 5, number 1, Junkyard Jeff. Plenty ahead of us, Shorty. There's a lot going on in greyhound racing at the moment, and back at Cannington, that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, that's certainly for Saturday night. Good luck to any other WA dogs going around in the Rookie Rebel as well this weekend, and then there's a number of dogs trialling, as we've touched on. So keep your ears peeled. I'm sure Peter O'Neill on the race night will pass on those times, so everybody's got an idea of how those interstate runners have settled in here in WA and what sort of time they've run there on Saturday night when they've gone around and had a look at this circuit.
The countdown to Perth Cup is well and truly on. Hopefully you can make it down to the track either at Mandurah or now Cannington. But either way, we'll be able to catch you next week on the preview.